5, 4, 3, 2.
Tier 1 performance.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tier 1 Performance. Today we have a special guest, living legend, Eric Heckman, from Kingwood all the way to Houston throughout what organization? The Dodgers organization, right?
No, that was my father,
His
actually.
father, okay.
Yes, Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies organization. All right. Eric, why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself, your career, and how you ended up here today?
Today, okay. Well, started out at Kingwood High School. After that, I went down, played at University of Houston, got picked up in the supplemental draft. That was the year that the Rays and the Rockies came into the league. So it was the expansion draft, basically.
Right.
So I got picked up with the Rockies from there.
Oh, that's exciting. How long did you play with the Rockies?
3 years.
3 years? Excellent.
3 years.
Excellent. Did you enjoy it?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. Most people, they hate the road, To me, being, 20, 21, to get paid like $700 a week or a month just to go around and play baseball, I might as well have been $7 million. It was the greatest time of my life.
Yeah.
Greatest time.
Honestly, the best times of our life are when we're playing. When we're
no
young,
question.
When we're youthful. It's
No question.
very exciting. So when you were getting recruited, what was that process like? We'll go college first and then MLB.
It's kind of funny to talk about that because it was a little different back then.
I understand. It's
There
completely
was
different.
zero internet, zero anything. It was, you better be standing in front of the coach. So it was camps and the clinics were a lot more important back then just because that was the only way you were going to get in front of somebody.
Right.
So it was a little bit more difficult. But if it was just the process of, actually making phone calls. I know you guys are going to freak out, but writing letters,
Emails.
No, it was writing a letter.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for laughing. We typed them, though. Thank you. But and just a lot of phone calls, a ton of phone calls, because we didn't have the emails, we didn't have the internet, we had nothing. So it was either going down there and talking to the coach one-on-one, going to their clinics and camps, letting them see you. Because back then, even though we were playing in the springtime, so were they. So they didn't have time to show up to the games as much as, in the summertime and all that stuff. So, it was, you had to get your name out there and you had to do it quick because there was 10 other guys waiting in line to talk to him right after you did. So,
absolutely.
I think my niche was a left-handed power hitter. For some reason, coaches are always looking for left-handed power hitters. I don't know what it is.
It's pretty swinging.
It is. That's no question about that. But that's where I had the niche. It's left-handed first baseman. I also DH'd a little bit, but just having that little bit of power and speed kind of put me ahead of the game, which was good.
That's great. So what about the transition from you going from college to pro?
I lost a little bit of speed, but also gained a ton of power. Finally realized what working with a strength coach actually did for me. And I didn't mind it, neither did coach, that I lost a little bit of speed because my home runs doubled.
Oh, wow.
So it was just, as he put it, I had the swing. I just needed a little bit more power. So that's where my strength coach really helped me get to. My hitting coach was great too, but like you said, being a left-handed power hitter, you don't need too much to do with your swing. But, all of a sudden my doubles and triples started turning into home runs. And that's where I got noticed.
But you weren't trying to hit home runs. You were just trying to
No, not at all.
That's
what I was saying. All of a sudden, I'm thinking I hit it in the gap. There's another double, and it just kept carrying and carrying. And next thing I know, there I was jogging around the bases going, I'll be. Working out really helps.
So being a power hitter, reflecting back not on your coaching mind, but your player mind, what was your mindset, your approach going in, being a guy who was recognized as a power hitter from the left side?
I was one of those guys that jumped on the first pitch. I did not want to wait. I didn't want to find out how good of a curveball he had, how good of a changeup he had. We went with that theory of 95% of first pitches are going to be first pitch fastballs.
Could help you.
So I just stood there and said, just throw me the ball. Right. And coach didn't mind it at all because I had my job to do.
Right. Yeah, that's actually kind of close to my mindset. My first thing when I look up when I'm going to the plate is if it's straight and over the plate, I'm swinging great. That's literally everything that I would
like
go.
that. That's good.
I was a terrible leadoff because of this mindset, and I wouldn't change it when I was leadoff. So they put me like 2-hole, 3-hole, 4-hole,
Yeah.
throughout my career. And because like first pitch fastball, I'm like, that's probably the best thing I'm gonna ever see.
Well, I mean,
Scouting report on me was like, you can't hit a slider until like my junior year. And so, I was just like, well, if they throw me a first pitch fastball and get ahead so they can throw me away sliders, I'm going to put everything, make sure I do not miss that first pitch fastball.
I loved batting third because your mindset was you knew you were getting up that first inning.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And you get 2 ABs to see what happens.
Exactly. And that was my favorite spot because I never did understand the cleanup hitter. When you go down 1, 2, 3 in the first inning, your cleanup hitter now becomes your leadoff. It's like I never understood that whatsoever.
Yeah, more times than not, you're never getting up. Basically,
yeah.
That's the more times than not, you're never.
And then the rest of the game, your cleanup hitter bats first this inning, third or fourth that inning. So he's never going to get up there with bases loaded as much as you'd wish.
It's more of a myth than it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, now you see cleanup hitters quote, like say Judge, those guys. Sometimes they're leading the game off. Because now the big thing is at-bats.
Exactly.
Your number one guy is going to have the most at-bats.
You got to get him seen the most.
Yeah, now you see guys like that hitting, first in the order.
Yeah, it's not uncommon. I think my coach, I know this happened, but at one point, my sophomore year, I believe, our catcher, Derek Gardella, he was our best hitter at that time during the season. I think he was batting something ridiculous, like way over 300 as a catcher DH. And, I mean, he's the slowest guy on the team. Strongest guy on the team, but slowest guy on the team, and he was just getting on base. He wasn't even hitting home runs. I think he didn't even hit a home run until his 5th year, and he only hit one his whole career. And this guy would dress up as Bane as for Halloween, and he had so many muscles, biggest 8-pack you've ever seen. And he would go in, and he was leadoff, and our coach had him there because he would just lead off the game with a double or a single. I mean, he wasn't that fast, but I mean, if he's getting on, get him more.
That's your job.
Get him more ABs. He's starting off our inning hot.
No question.
And so, then we had to manipulate our hitting around Derek because we got to push him around the bases.
Yep.
And then everyone got ignited that way. So yeah, it's very important. Just because he's the biggest, strongest dude doesn't necessarily mean he should be the 4-hole.
Right.
Or the cleanup hitter.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah, you got to take your whole lineup and figure it out.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed mine. I enjoyed hitting home runs. It was I don't know. I enjoyed jogging around bases.
Yeah, it's the fun aspect of it.
There's no question about it. Especially being left-handed. What I always loved is, teams never got mad at me for hitting home runs because it was always right field for me, always. So you got to watch the ball. When righties hit home runs to left field, the team gets mad. You see him watching his shot. I never had that problem because my ball was hit straight away. So as I'm running the first, I could watch my shot without the other team getting mad. I was watching my shot.
Exactly.
So it was nice. That's what I liked about being left-handed.
Yeah, exactly. So after your player career ended, what did you do after that?
We actually went back to Kingwood High School. My brother and I coached over there for 13 years. We had a privilege of coaching some of the best players to ever come out of that school. We coached 3 or 4 first-round draft picks, a couple of second-round draft picks, fourth-round draft picks, and it was good for them because not only did we help them with their career, we actually helped them, understanding the how it worked. We actually knew some of the scouts that came to watch them play, so it was good for them, good for us because we still got to stay involved. But just some of the best ball players to ever come out of school.
And you're not coaching for high school anymore. You're doing lessons at DBAT. Right?
Yep.
So for those of you guys that don't know, he is one of the managers. He runs this place. Also one of the owners of the place as well. Really knows what he's talking about. Mitch and I have really taken a liking to him and the way he coaches. Very good. He's still current, still up in the game. And you've been coaching for how long has it been now?
Probably 35 years.
Almost as long as you've been playing.
Yeah. It's kind of been getting there.
Getting there.
I actually, I love coaching, but the only thing you miss as a player, you see certain situations and you just want to be there. You want to be the one stepping into the box.
Yeah, you want to do it.
It's difficult sometimes as a coach because you're just like, hit the ball.
Yeah.
You still feel it. You still understand the whole game. You still want to be there.
Yeah.
But it's fun when you see the guys that you're coaching succeed. Like in 2005 at Kingwood, we won the state championship, and that was just
Incredible.
Just I mean, because we never got to do it as a player, so I'll take it as a coach. I'm not complaining.
Right.
But,
and it's a lot harder to win state championships in Texas alone.
No, there's no question about
than
that.
majority of other states.
I mean, we all realize that it literally takes as much luck as it does skill to win a state championship.
Oh yeah, it's
There's
not
no
about who's the
question
best
about it.
team. It could be who's the hottest team, or
Yeah,
which team showed up that day, or
because the year we won it, we were third in the state going in. The first two teams lost their coin toss and had to take a one-game winner take all.
Yep.
They both lost.
Yeah.
So not to say that we weren't the best team, but with a little bit of luck, we ended up by the third round. We were the best team.
You were the right team. Yeah.
So it was interesting to watch that. You paid attention to every single game going on besides your own, seeing where you're going to end up, who you're playing next, who might be eliminated, who got the one game, who got the 3 games. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it.
Excellent. Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
I'm jealous personally. I only went as deep as like the third round in high school, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not salty at all. But getting back on track here. If you using all your knowledge, and the players that you've kept up with, and the coaches that you've kept up with, I would say you're still in contact with the modern day baseball world. Like you still know plenty of D1 coaches, JUCO coaches that are still doing their careers as well as players, right?
Yes, but I'll tell you, the game has changed a lot.
Right.
It
what
amazes
are some of those
me.
changes?
I'm just the approach on how pitching coaches work now, how hitting coaches work. Swings are completely different now, and I've had to learn a lot. I'm the old dog.
You gotta adjust.
I've had to. When I'm doing lessons here, I listen to you guys. I talk to Dre. I talk to Tyler. I want to know because I still have a son in high school right now, and so I want to keep up with it all. I've learned that what got me as far as I did doesn't work anymore, and so I've had to really adjust and adapt to what's going on today. Just the swings themselves, the
game is advanced.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I've had kids. I'm seeing kids that I'm coaching doing stuff at like the age of 12 that I was learning at the age of 16.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day when I was in high school, Mitch can agree with me on this. Like doing a slow roller bare hand was an elite move, and now you got 10-year-olds practicing that on a daily basis.
You got that right.
Like it's just. Or a jumping throw or something crazy like that. Catching balls off the wall is now an art form for outfielders. It is. The game is advancing tremendously. Hitting with backspin.
I was going to say, hitting for me too was back then. It was just see it, hit it hard, and it was almost to the point of they didn't really care how you did it. Just do it. Now I've listening to parents. At 7 years old, I don't know. I mean, my son, this is his first year playing, and I don't know if he's behind. And I'm thinking, he's 7.
Right. Still got to fall in love with the game.
And it's like, it just blows my mind how much the game has changed. And I find myself, working with my son. I find myself working with 8 and 9 years old, teaching them the exact same thing. You're talking a varsity player baseball to a 9-year-old. And I'm working on the same things, hands inside the ball, how they're presenting their front shoulder, how rolling over. Right? I mean, it blows my mind that, the game is so far advanced that some of these parents think if they don't have, 3 or 4 years of baseball underneath their belt by the time they're 7 years old, they're not sure they're going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I remember when I was growing up, I was playing 3 or 4 different sports. Now you see these poor kids, 7 years old, 8 years old, baseball, 12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And, a lot of parents have asked me about it. And I said, well, the only thing I know is I played 4 different sports. And by the time I got back to baseball in the spring, I played pro ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I try to tell these parents, let them enjoy things for a little bit. I don't think baseball is made to be played 12 months out of the year.
No, I don't think any sport is.
True. But, as much, as taxing as it is on the body, baseball is a difficult game to play for that long.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I tell my parents, too, is give them a mental break. I mean, I understand the physical break, but the mental part of is huge.
It's a mental game.
Yeah, and that's why I look back and I actually enjoyed the fact that I got to play basketball, football, hockey, wrestling. I mean, because it changed your mindset. One sport helped the next.
Correct.
So by the time I got back to baseball, I was ready to go. You know, and I was enjoying the fact that I got to put, let's say when I was living in New York, I got to put my hockey stick down, my winter sport, go grab my glove, my bat, and I looked forward to the season coming up.
Right.
You know, and that's the other thing I think that's huge is you always have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I see these poor kids playing 12 months out of the year. And, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how long they're going to last that way, you know?
You know, and I've seen kids today that, like you said earlier, 12, 13 years old, and I'm just watching them swing going, you're how old? 12.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. You know, it's amazing to watch.
No, I have to agree with you there. But so taking all that knowledge that you've learned, being a coach at DBAT, being a coach at Kingwood High School, and then coaching, I guess, your son and all that as well. And then knowing those coaches at the next level and so on and so forth, having played there yourself, what kind of things do you think these scouts are looking for in kids or in high schoolers, recruits? Like, what are they looking for the most, or what's the best way to get recruited?
That's a loaded question. It really is. Yeah. The thing that bothers me a little bit about it is there's so many different ways to get there now.
Correct.
Like even with my own son, you know, I look at it and say, okay, the way I got there doesn't exist anymore. So it's like I'm learning the same exact thing now that some of these parents are. You know, you've got all of your PG events. You've got, you know, to me, I still think bottom line, what you do during your high school season does make a difference. Because if you're leading the Houston area and you're leading your district and you're becoming an all-district, all-state player, don't tell me these guys aren't looking at those players.
No.
It's simple. It's easy. I think there's too many avenues now today. So it's like when my son asked me, what do you think I should do? Where do you think I should go? I said, just put up gaudy numbers. Just do it and trust me.
They'll find you.
Exactly. You know, that's what I was just about to say. I tell them all the time, if you're good enough, they will find you. They will find you. And you know, he hates me bragging on him, but I'll just give a good example. He started out this season on JV, and he was a little, you know, upset about it. Who wouldn't be when he was MVP of the JV last season? But then I said, look, do your job, keep going, stay the course, put up numbers they cannot ignore.
Exactly. Right
before district started, he was hitting 576 and some 600 on base percentage. He got the phone call, and he got moved up. He started and never looked back. So there was the perfect example of just do your job on the field, you know, and your phone will ring. You know, I know there's ways on the PG you can go to their events. There's a few others that can do that, but
you can go to other camps or like social media.
Yeah,
or whatever.
To me, I think like next season, what I'd like Blake to do is to go to the camps of the colleges he's looking at, because to me, that's the perfect time and place to put yourself in front of the entire coaching staff. I mean, from head coach all the way down. Every coach will be at their camp.
Right.
And if you have a good day, you're on their radar.
Yeah.
You know, and you're right there talking to the guys you need to talk to. You know, everybody always says, you know, you go all these summer camps, I mean, the tournaments and everything, you have no idea who's sitting in the stands. Yeah. You just don't. But if you get to go to their camp, I promise the head coach, when he sees your 60 time at 6'5", yeah, he's going to come up and talk to you.
Right.
He's going to ask you, where are you playing? What are you doing? And there you are one-on-one with the head coach of the school you want to go to. And when he says, who's your coach and what's his number, well, I'd say that's a good head start.
Yeah, no, I agree. For those of y'all at home that are watching, I do believe that there are some scouts, and I know I can confirm that some scouts do go to tournaments.
Yes,
and watch.
I apologize. Yes, you're right.
But they don't go to a lot of them. There is a very high elite class of players for each age group at each level, and only a certain amount of scouts in that area will go or to certain tournaments, and it's like a very small percentage. I mean, a lot. I mean, I believe there's more select ball players now than there's ever been.
No doubt about it.
I mean, it's not the way me and Mitch got recruited. I mean, it was pretty night and day.
And there wasn't even select ball when I played.
Right.
So,
exactly. So I'm sure they're out there watching those tournaments, but to those of you at home that are watching this, just know you will know if they're out there watching you. And then if they're not, it's not like a whole, oh, maybe there was a scout, maybe there's one. No, it is very distinctly clear if there are scouts at your games or not.
Yep.
And they're only to a certain select few tournaments and a select few people at certain levels. I mean, that shouldn't discourage y'all by any means, but there are other avenues like Eric was explaining. You can go to the college you want, get in front of those coaching staff and show them how you want to play or how can you play, or like how do you fit into their program? Show them what you got. And then you got, you can email coaches, contact coaches, and then you got social media if you want to do that route as well. That's still a pretty bright new avenue to where there's not even really rules or regulations about it.
Exactly.
But it's getting to that point, and I'm sure that it'll all be sorted out shortly. But there's multiple ways of getting to the school that you want or to a school that could want you. Because I mean, these guys are human as well. The coaching staff, they got their own jobs to worry about, their own seasons to play, and they got a select amount of time to recruit. So maybe it's just a chance that they haven't seen you, or maybe it's a chance that they have seen you, or you need to put yourself in a position so that they can better see you.
Yeah, because the amount of select tournaments going on every single weekend, there's only so many, scouts and coaches that can get to these tournaments. But if you look at a schedule any weekend, mm-hmm. I'm talking there are hundreds of tournaments going on all over the country, hundreds. Yeah. So it's like, you wonder how these coaches and scouts go, well, let's go to this one this weekend. And you, like you said, you don't know. You have no idea if that tournament, the one you're playing in, they're going to be there. And it does make it difficult because, then you find yourself trying to get to as many tournaments as you can, hoping, but that's why I told my son, your high school season, use it, right? And then in the summer, pick your tournaments that you want to play in, but also at the same time, pick camps that you want to go to. And like we talked about, if you're good enough, they will find you, mm-hmm. period.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, I think it was easier for me because there wasn't as many avenues, but now it's like he comes up to me, Dad, should I put my stuff on this website? Should I put my stuff? And being an old school guy, I'm like, talk to your coach,
Yeah.
Because you're hoping that the high school coaches are helping these kids, do what they need to do because they are getting phone calls from college coaches and scouts and everything else. And a couple of the games that we had, my son had played in the spring, there were some kids throwing 95 plus. And yeah, you're right. That was old school. You looked in the stands and you saw 10 radar guns pointing right at the pitcher's mouth. So you knew that, hey, they still work like this. Like I said, if you're good enough, they'll be there. And so that was the nice part for him.
So, Stemming, this will probably be our last question because I understand I'm glad we grabbed it for such a long time. But being a coach that recognizes talent, as well as being a player who had talent, who had the work ethic, who had the skill to make it to the next levels, what is your ideal, what does it take, what does a player need to have to be an ideal recruit?
Well, the first one of all, to me, when we were coaching, was attitude. It was as simple as that. Because you're going to find, you can go to any school, any place, put 100 kids together, and 50% of them will have the same talent level. Mm-hmm. To me, your attitude and being a teammate were two of the biggest things we looked at because no one's going to want that kid in your dugout. Nobody. I don't care how good you are. You've got to be personable. You've got to be able to be coachable. And of course, bottom line is you better have talent. But that's only the start of it. We used to love to see how kids would react with other teammates. That was huge. Because like I said, especially for the college coaches, if they're looking for a shortstop, you're going to find 20 kids with the exact same ability. But how are they with their teammates? How are they in the dugout? Are they born team leaders? Do they follow? Do they lead?
How they fit in the program?
Right. And so, to us, that was so important. Like at Kingwood High School, the greatest thing we ever did was every year, it was kind of like the 12th man type thing, but every year we kept one jersey. And some of these kids that possibly just unfortunately weren't good enough to make the team, we watched their attitude. We watched how the other teammates just loved having him around, even if he wasn't even good enough. And at the end of the tryouts and after all the teams were picked, we had a ceremony and presented the jersey to one of the kids that got cut, we gave him that jersey, and he was part of the team. And so to us, that was as important as being the best shortstop or the best center fielder, the best pitcher on the team. It was huge. And I'll tell you what, the rest of the team picked up on that. And that was the best thing in the world. So attitude, if you're good, great. But don't think that's going to guarantee you anything. Right. That's the biggest thing that these kids don't understand. We knew many of the guys that played for us at King that had the ability to go on the next level, and they just didn't have the right mindset. They didn't have the right attitude.
Right. And I think nowadays, especially, things are always getting a little bit emotional on the field, especially you look at college, you look at MLB, and it's like egos are stepping in now in a game where usually, I don't want to say egos have never been there, because as far as we know, egos have always been there, especially in baseball. Pitchers versus batters, everyone has an ego. But I think now with like modern day technology and these cameras, we're starting to see a lot of people's egos and emotions out on the field.
Absolutely.
And I think for some people, they assume that if you got to be the best person on that field, you have to be him, you have to be that guy. That means your whole personality is that person in that moment, or that MLB player in that moment, like, Manny Machado moment where, he thinks he's the best, he's shoving it down someone else's throat.
Right.
But maybe, I don't know how Manny Machado is as a teammate. Never met the dude. Would like to, but never met the dude. But I'm assuming he's at that level because that's not how he is all the time.
Yeah.
Like media can paint a persona about someone, but I see a lot of these kids, who you go see, you'll hear about what they did at a tournament, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I hit a walk-off, or I hit a single or a leadoff double in a meaningless tournament, and then I gave the dude the finger, or I grabbed my cup and shook it at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like thinking that they're big guys, It's just I was like, and like, where's this ego coming from? Because at the end of the day, what does that do? If anything, it's going to make a coach not look at you. Right.
Listen to the interviews after the games. Right. The guys that are there for the right reasons, the first thing they say is, so how did you feel about hitting 4 home runs today? The first word out of their mouth will be we. Yeah. Well, we had a good game today as a team. We did what we were supposed to do. They shy away from themselves. The biggest person you'll ever want to see is Judge. And one of the biggest things that I saw about Judge was last year when I think he hit his 61st home run, Stanton went like 4 for 4 with 3 bombs and did a walk-off and won the game. They all walked up to Judge and said, so how do you feel hitting your 61st? The first thing out of that man's mouth was, well, I'll tell you this. Stanton gave us the win today. He hit 2 home runs and went 4 for 4. I suggest you go over there and talk to him first. If that's not a teammate, I don't know who is.
Right.
He shied away from the attention being on him because he felt that Stanton deserved it. And right there, that's what I love, right there.
Right.
At Kingwood, we always called certain players, we nicknamed them Imee. And everybody always asked me why we called them Imee. I said, it's simple. They start every sentence with I and end it with me. Baseball's not that way.
Can't be that guy now with 9 other guys.
No, there's no way. That's the best part about it. And I know we got to wrap up, but what I used to love was, I'd tell Blake about this all the time. I would go 0 for 4, and we'd come away with a W. Awesome. Every one of my teammates did their job. The next day, I went 4 for 4, 2 doubles, a home run. We lost. So that's when you learn I and me. That's for the end of the season when you want to look at your stats.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's all about the W. And if you listen to major leaguers in their interviews, that's the first thing they will talk about.
Right.
Well, we and us and the team. And when they do 4 for 4 with 3 home runs, the first thing they say is, well, I'm glad I could help the team win today.
Yeah.
That's the attitude you want to have.
That's what you have to have. Guys, for those of you at home, I don't believe you have any social media.
So
if you want to get a hold of Eric here, the legend, he lives in this cave called Divat Humble. Yeah, he lives in Divat Humble. He works at Divat Humble.
No, I do live at Divat Humble.
Yeah, we live both. Off 1960, guys. Eric, it was a pleasure having you.
I enjoyed it. I hope we do this again.
Yeah, we'll have you back on.
Definitely. I enjoyed this.
Thank you, sir.
You got it, buddy.
Right. See y'all.